Hello everyone and welcome to another video. In today's video I'm going to continue with special effects and we're moving on to stage 2 of my zombie process. In stage 2, the human no longer looks very human. The skin is starting to decompose, it's going grey, they're becoming even more gaunt, scabs are showing in the skin, everything's kind of ripping up. So to give the skin some really nasty texture, I'm just going to use liquid latex. You don't have to use flesh coloured, I would prefer to use clear, but that's okay. And then with a sponge that you don't care about or a brush you don't care about, just kind of go over areas. Now I'm first starting with the area where I want to create a 3D wound. I'm going to build that up with some tissue. I'm just using one ply of tissue here. I don't want it to be too fleshy, I just want a little bit of a wound. I do apologise, I swear every video something goes wrong. This one I just kept leaning out of frame. Then I'm just applying a thin layer of latex over the rest of my face, building up in areas that I really want to dig out holes, otherwise just giving my skin a really yucky texture. So I've really pulled out with some holes with a metal spatula. And I also dragged the side of the spatula down on the liquid latex, which created a really nice sort of grated effect to the skin. Then I'm just going to powder over that to reduce the tackiness of the liquid latex. You may need to do this whilst pulling open some of the holes as liquid latex sticks to liquid latex. Also, if you're having problems setting your liquid latex, you can use a blow dryer to speed up the process. Next, I'm mixing a bit of my black cream stack with my white foundation and a little bit of flesh tone foundation, and I'm applying that all over the face. Then I'm going in with just my flesh tone because I found that it was just too grey/blue, so I really wanted to add a little bit more flesh to it. This is both Illamasqua Skin Base in 3.5, so it's rather pink, not so much yellow. Then with my Ben Nye cream stack, I'm going in with the red colour on a small detailed brush and I'm going to fill in my wounds. So I'm first starting with the big one and then I'll be going around the rest of the face. I'm also going to deepen up the big wound with a little bit of the purple and the black mixed with the red. This is really going to add depth to it. You can also do this all around the face and any of the little crevices or holes that you created. I'm now going to bruise up the big wound with a little bit of purple and blue, just with a detailed brush and blending it out with my fingertips. This may get covered with blood later on, but this will just add a little bit of colour to the look. Then I'm taking a bit of the blue and the black mixed together on a fluffy brush and I'm going to use that to kind of give the face a little bit more make it look a little bit more gaunt. So I'm applying that to the inner eyes, really trying to deepen up those sockets, make it look like the face is starting to decompose, it's starting to stretch along the skull. Then I'm also going to irritate the eyes. As this is the second stage, we are continuing on with that irritation from the infection. So I'm taking the red from the cream stack and applying that into the eyes quite heavily for this stage. I'm also going around the nose with that. Think when you have the flu and you're rubbing your nose with tissues that feel like sandpaper. That's kind of the look we're going for here around the nose. So blending that in with the fingertips, then I'm taking a mixture of that blue and black again on the fluffy brush, pursing my lips and running it over the lips, blending out the edges with my fingertips. This will give a really nice cracked look to the skin, again, just really making it look as if it's starting to decompose. I'm also taking the dark colours into my ears and around my ears. You never want to leave your ears pink and fleshy, quickest way to ruin a look. Then with some yarn and a little bit more of liquid latex, I'm going to add some texture into the wound. This isn't really anything special, it's just to really make it look nasty. It's a really cheap way of looking like the veins are exposed, the capillaries are exposed, and really just adding nasty texture. So I'm using both a bright red yarn and a deep maroon yarn. So it's going to make it look a little bit more infected and kind of poisonous looking with that dark maroon because it's really quite purple. Now really cement that in there with a little bit of latex. This doesn't need to be perfect, I'll be going over it with some blood later. Then just taking the black, you only need the tiniest bit with these cream stacks. I'm just going to deepen up the eye a little bit more, really recede that eye into the skull. I'm just doing this by my fingertips, just rubbing it along, making sure I'm getting into the lash line because I don't really want that pink flesh showing through. Then I'm going to go in with my Ben Nye Fresh Scab Blood, and on my metal spatula I'm going to place that into all of the holes and crevices in the skin that we've made. You don't need to use much of this, you could use an alcohol activated blood colour instead. I just find that this gives a really nice gunky look to it. So apply as much blood as you would like. I'm also going to add a fair amount into our really gross wound. This will react with the yarn really nicely and really give a gross texture. Can you imagine having this in a bigger wound on your face? It will look gnarly. Now, I'm just going to place a little bit of that blood around my mouth as well. I started neat and then I remembered, nah, I'm a zombie, my meals aren't neat. So I messily applied that all around the lips, and then I went in with a tissue to really make it look as if it's not so placed onto the skin. So I'm just smudging it out with the tissue, taking away any excess product that may fall or look really quite placed and not as neat. So there you go, there is your second stage zombie, perfect for Halloween parties, perfect for zombie walks. I really hope you got something out of this tutorial. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Bye! Hello everyone and welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my stage 1 zombie tutorial.